I'm going to read one of the Greek myths, and this one is called Dolphin Boy, the story of Orion. There was once a great poet called Orion. He was a shy young man, and he liked nothing better than to be at home, writing his poems and playing sweet music on his harp. But everyone knew that he was the greatest poet in the world. Rich kings showered him with gifts and wanted him to write special poems just for them. After one visit to a far-off land, where he composed poetry for the king, Orion was on his way home aboard a small ship. He had been given a great chest of treasure. In it were jewels and diamonds, pearls and opals, and a golden crown sparkling with rubies. Whatever would he do with it all? On board the ship, looking forward to getting back to his peaceful life at home, Orion took out his harp and started to play a happy song. The sailors huddled together, muttering quietly. "Let's steal his treasure and throw him overboard," suggested one. "But what will we tell our king?" asked another. "We could say that he stayed behind," said the captain, "that he couldn't resist living in the king's magnificent palace." "Yes," said the sailors together, their eyes flashing with greed. Quietly, quietly, they gathered around Orion. The poet looked up from his harp. "Would you like to hear another song?" he asked innocently, when suddenly the captain whipped out a knife. "Another song?" he bellowed. "No, what we really want is your treasure." Orion looked from one sailor to another. "Please," he begged, "don't kill me. You can have my treasure. I don't want it. Take it all." "Do you expect us to believe that?" laughed the captain, moving closer and pointing his knife at Orion's throat. "You'll just report us to the king as soon as we get back home. No, we'll have to feed you to the sharks." Orion trembled with fear. "At least let me sing one last song before you throw me overboard," he pleaded. "All right," agreed the captain, "but make it quick." Orion started playing again, and, as he played, dolphins and seagulls gathered around the ship to listen to the beautiful song. "Come on," said the captain to his mates. "Let's get this over and done with." He reached out and pushed Orion off the deck. "Help!" Splash! cried Orion as he fell towards the crashing waves. He flailed with his arms, trying to stay afloat, but it was no use. He was far out to sea, and he couldn't swim. "I'll drown for sure," he said to himself. Just then something pushed gently against his harp and lifted him out of the water. Orion looked down to find that he was sitting on a dolphin's back. He had been rescued. Happily, he picked up his harp and began playing a cheerful song, never stopping until the dolphins had taken him across the sea, all the way back home. "Orion," cried his king, "welcome home. But how did you get here? Where is your ship? And where are the other sailors?" Orion explained everything that had happened to him. A few days later his ship arrived. "Look!" cried one of the sailors. "The king is here to welcome us." "Don't be so stupid," growled the captain. "The king is here to see Orion." "Don't panic, lads. If we stick to our story, we'll be all right." As soon as the sailors were safely back on dry land, the king asked them where the famous poet was. Would these sailors really lie to their king? He wondered. He decided to stay behind," said the captain. "When do you think he will return home?" asked the king, looking them straight in the eye. The sailors shrugged. Who knows? Perhaps he will stay there forever." In the water behind them, a dolphin cawed. It sounded as though it was laughing. The sailors spun round, and one by one their faces turned a ghostly white. There, standing behind them, was Orion. The captain panicked. "I had no idea how he got here," he stammered. We begged him to come back with us, didn't we, lads?" All the other sailors nodded in agreement, but the king was not to be fooled. "You are liars," he said, "and you shall be punished." He turned to his guards. "Take them to a desert island and leave them there marooned," he ordered. The guards took the sailors away. The kind dolphin who rescued Orion was looked after by the people of the kingdom until he died. Then the gods turned the dolphin into a cluster of bright stars to help guide travellers back home. And as for the treasure, well, Orion let the sailors keep that. But what use are gold and jewels on a desert island? If only the men hadn't been so greedy.